Welcome to the treasure trove of folk tales, a magical collection of stories that have inspired generations. Embark on a mythical journey with heroes, fairies, and enchanting creatures, opening the door to a world of imagination and emotion.
The story of the Christian trader. I am a Christian trader who has traveled the world from the west to the east, bringing with me the scents of Arabian spices, Indian silks, African ivory, and northern amber. My life was going smoothly until that fateful day in a large market in Persia, when a bright sword from somewhere fell in front of me, shining silver, just an inch from my throat. A man covered his face with a black silk scarf, shouted, "Your blood must pay for the death of my sister." I was stunned. I had never met him. I had never known that he had a beautiful sister. The crowd surrounded me, and I fell to the ground, only able to stammer, "Oh, I vow to the Almighty, I am innocent." The mysterious man smiled faintly, but before he could lower his sword, a voice rang out from the crowd, "Wait, let him tell. In this city, no one is executed without saying his last words." And I began to tell. The story is, 3 years ago, I sailed from Basra to India. On the way, our ship was caught in a great storm and drifted to a strange island outside any chart I had ever known. There were no houses there, only black rocks and dead trees. The ship was stranded, unable to move. We landed on the island, and as the sun was setting, from afar rang out the sound of thousands of bells, a sound that seemed to echo from the depths of hell. A strange group of people appeared from the woods, their heads in silver helmets, barefoot, their faces pale, as if covered with honey wax. They surrounded the ship, not saying a word. Each of them carried a small golden axe, and as each of us approached, one of them carved a strange symbol on his shoulder with that golden axe. I could not resist, for I was bound by an invisible force. The next morning, the entire crew disappeared. I was alone, lost on the ship. The ship was let loose into the sea, as if it had never run aground. When I returned to land, I carried that haunted memory with me, and that black mark was still on my shoulder, a symbol like an evil-eyed crying blood. A few days later, I stopped at the city of Hormuz, staying at the house of a Jewish innkeeper. In the room, there was a strange silver mirror, and very old. That night, as I sat reading the Bible, the image of a young woman, very beautiful, appeared in the mirror. She was dressed in pure white. Her hair was long to her waist, and her eyes, as if calling me into another world. I thought it was an illusion, but then every night, she appeared. She said, "I am Miriam, sealed in this mirror 1,000 years ago. Only one with the mark of the Black Island can see me. He is that person." She begged me to free her, saying that only if I brought the silver mirror to the Temple of Souls on the top of Mount Sabir, a mountain not on the map, could she escape her life. I was enchanted, a person who had lost everything after the sea voyage, and immediately agreed. After a difficult journey, I reached Mount Sabir. On the top of the mountain, there was an ancient temple, made of white stone, where no surviving soul had ever dared to set foot. I stepped inside, holding the silver mirror tightly in my arms. In the middle of the temple, there was a priest, dressed in black robes, with no face, only 3 eyes wide open on his forehead. He said, "One with the mark of the Black Island, you are late." I handed him the silver mirror. He raised his hand, and a pillar of light shot up into the sky. From the mirror, Miriam's soul flew out, floating in the smoke, her beautiful eyes filled with gratitude. But as soon as she flew out, a dark figure appeared. It was the man who now held his sword to my neck. The priest I thought I was dead, but when I woke up, I was in the house of a priest in Syria. He said, I was carried by a young woman to the temple gate and then disappeared into the mist. I survived, but my hand, unable to raise, and my left shoulder bore a black scar. The mark that had been carved had become a burn. I understand. I have entered the mysterious world of things beyond human reason. Then I returned to Persia, thinking that the past had gone far away. But then, today, I was found by her brother. It seemed that he was still tied by the old fateful thread, a man who could not be released without taking the blood of the one who freed his brother. I finished telling that story in the middle of the Persian market, and that man, with the sword trembling in his hand, put it down. His face was no longer angry. My sister returned to my dream last night, thanking me for forgiving her. He muttered, then turned away like a ghost disappearing into the wind. The story ends here, like a misty curtain, gently falling at the end of the night. But deep in the world, where the imprints cannot be erased, there are still silent souls, cursed people, not as good as chains, but by memory. The king finished listening, his eyes still holding the light from the strange memory.
The tale has come to an end, yet the magic of these legends lives on in your heart. Keep dreaming and spreading the wonder.